Hi everyone, for today's video, our group is going to report about the topic individual and social identity online. But before we start our video, this video is for educational use only. Our group is allowing our instructor Mr. Rodon Ardinas to use this an educational material. So without further ado, let's get started.
Individual identity. Self-identity is a process of knowing oneself. Through this, we people have different thinking. And research said that self-identity is the conscious recognition of the self-identity as having a unique identity. This gives us awareness of an identification with oneself as separate individuals. Through this, it separates us from one another, and this gives each individual a unique.
Hello everyone, I'm Mandawi. So my topic is why individual identity is important. So the first is what is identity? Identity is actually a mathematical term. It belongs to the scientific theory of social mathematics, which was first studied in the late 18th century by French mathematician and philosopher Marie-Jeanne Antoine Nicolas de Caritat. Marquis de Condorcet. Identity refers to the algebraic concept of equality among citizens in terms of their legal rights and obligations. Marquis de Condorcet, who became famous for the Condorcet's paradox, came up with the term when studying the relationship between the individual and the collective as a way of formalizing the foundations of the democratic system. According to him, of a nation and or multiple individuals identically accept the rules of community, they attain the status of citizens. So why is important identity? So however, identity is also come to express the differences between us. Simply speaking, identity is a combination of your physical and behavioral traits that define who you are. For example, your name is part of your identity, as is the form and color of your eyes and your fingerprint. These set characteristics allows you to be different and uniquely recognizable. Identity plays an important role in empowering individuals to exercise their rights.
Social identity. Social identity is a person's sense of who they are based on their membership. Refers of the way that people's self-concepts are based on their membership in social groups. Example include sports team, religion, nationalities, occupation, sexual orientation, ethnic groups, and gender. Examples of the social identity is we can see examples of social identity theory in nationalism, religion, race, fraternities, and sororities. By studying these social groups, we can see how people use in groups and out groups to develop these social identities. Another example of self-identity refers to stable and prominent aspects of one's self-perception. Researchers have added the concept of self-identity to the theory of planned behavior studies that explain organic food consumption choices.
Three stages of social identity theory.
The term social identity approach or social identity perspective is suggested for describing the joint contribution of the both social identity theory and self-categorization theory. Social identity theory suggests that an organization can change individual behavior if it can modify their self-identity or part of their self-concept that derives from the knowledge of and emotional attachment of the group. Social identity theory is built on the three cognitive components: social categorization, social identification, and social comparison.
So my topic is all about social identification. Social identification, it reflects the identity that people generally do not distinguish social situations as detached observers. So speaking of observers, observers is like the observe or judge other people. So we say marites. And based on my understanding about social identification, in the word social, it means the society, the people in the society observes other people or others or in a certain people or in a certain person, and we identify them about their through their physical appearance, their actions we've seen in outside, and we directly judge them without knowing about their social situations. And nowadays in the Generation Z, us we judge other people without knowing their own true story, why they made like that, such as um people or a person, uh, a gay person, and like tomboy, we judge them directly without knowing about their true story, why they done that, and why they make make themselves involved in that situation. And they are and instead we must their own sense of who they are and how they relate to others typically implicated in that way. And through that way, they view other individuals and groups around them.
Social comparison is a pervasive and fundamental feature of group life. People compare themselves with fellow group members, they compare themselves with people in other group, and they compare their own group with others by evaluating their own attitudes, abilities, and traits in comparison with others. In most cases, we try to compare ourselves to those in our peer group or with whom we are similar. And we people tend to compare ourselves with others, especially if that certain group or someone has similarities with us, such as attitudes, abilities, and traits. For example, in class, we tend to befriend someone who has somewhat similarities of our attitudes or talents. We easily click with person who has the same interests with us. And we easily click with that certain person who has the same interest with us. That certain someone or group gives vibes that we can easily adapt and enjoy.
Good day, everyone. My topic is online identity. An internet identity, also an online identity or internet persona, is a social identity that an internet user establishes in online communities and websites. It may also be an actively constructed presentation of oneself. So, for example, is Facebook, because in Facebook we put our name, address, birthday.
Good morning, everyone, sir. So, my topic is all about what is the differences between individual and social identity. So, first, let me define what is individual identity. It refers to the person's self-image to one believes about the sort of person is on how differs from other. For example, is personality, achievements, pwede sa gender, social status, social class, beliefs, and values, and etc. So, what is social identity? Social identity is a portion of individual self-concept derived from preserved membership into a relevant social group. For example, race, gender, sex, sexual orientation. So, let's go back to the main topic. So, what is the real differences between social identity and individual identity. So social identity is different from personal identity because of the emphasis of the individual rather than collective group. Individual identity is differentiates us from others within a social identity group, whereas social identity is how we categorize both ourselves and others. In short, social identity focuses on similarities among peoples, whereas self-identity focuses on individuals. Um, individuals difference. So, example of this is person may affiliate with a religious group. Example is yeah. And second example is a football team or a family. That's all. Thank you.